In addition to the federal response to President Trump's now delayed tariffs, provincial and territorial leaders are coming out of the woodwork with plans of their own. In a news conference earlier today, Ontario PC Party leader Doug Ford said Canada had no choice but to hit back and hit back hard. Tessa Bennett is in studio with more on this. Tessa, how is each province planning to respond?
Manisa, each premier is crafting their own countermeasure, and so far, most provinces seem to be ready to pull American alcohol from shelves once these tariffs come down.
I wish Ontario and Canada were working together with our American friends and allies, working together to make Canada and the U.S. the richest, most successful, safest, most secure two countries on the planet.
While the tariffs have been delayed for the time being, provincial leaders and Canadian businesses are still crafting their responses. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who is actively seeking re-election in the province, has long been talking about ways to strike back at the country's southern neighbours, announcing Monday morning the Liquor Control Board of Ontario would be following his directive to clean house when the tariffs come into play.
The LCBO, which sells nearly $1 billion worth of American beer, wine, spirits, and seltzers every year, will remove all U.S. products from its shelves and wholesale catalog.
In a post online, Ford confirmed Ontario-based restaurants would no longer be able to order or restock U.S. alcohol products after the tariffs are in effect. Other provinces and territories have made similar decisions, planning to enact measures of their own in their provincially run liquor stores.
Some people will have no problem switching to a Canadian or a European alcoholic beverage as they're very patriotic.
Additionally, the Ontario PC Party leader said the province would be cancelling its $100 million contract with Elon Musk's satellite internet company Starlink, to which Musk said, "Oh well." BC Premier David Eby announced his province could target some, but not all of the states, directing the BC Liquor Distribution Branch to stop buying product from red states.
Our strategy consists of three main components: to respond firmly and forcefully, to strengthen our economy at home, and to diversify our trading relationships in Canada and around the world.
Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith, who visited President Trump's Mar-a-Lago property to talk trade just last month, has also spoken out in response to these tariffs. In a post online, Smith said the decision will harm Canadians and Americans alike and strain the important relationship and alliance between our two nations. She has consistently butted heads with the federal government over the inclusion of oil as a bargaining chip in this trade war. But government officials are not the only ones taking a stand against the incoming sweeping tariffs. Some Canadian businesses are appealing to consumers, encouraging them to purchase Canadian-made and sourced products.
There'll be a fraction of Canadians, whether it's 10 or 20%, who will do the research and get right into this because they strongly believe in it and they want to be able to do it, and they may have a little more disposable income. Some Canadians will say, love to do it, but I don't have time to think about this. I just need to buy what's best for me at this moment for my individual family.
But retail analyst Bruce Winder says punishing U.S. companies without targeting Canadians as well is tricky.
Well, Amazon's an American company, but they employ 50, 60,000 people in Canada. They also allow for tens of thousands of Canadian suppliers to sell on their web pages. So that's sort of an interesting example of how it's difficult to sort of isolate just a Canadian versus an American company.
In response to the tariff delay, Doug Ford says Ontario will also pause their punitive action. Next week, the premiers will meet with key members of the new administration in Washington to continue negotiations.